वासुदेवाय Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 7, Scheduled Incarnations with Specific Functions, text number 42 onwards. So Brahmaji is further answering Narad Muni's question. Yesham Sayesh Bhagwan Dayayed Ananta Sarvatmana Shitpado Yadi Nirvailikam Te Dustara Mati Taranti Chad Mayam Nasha Mamahum Iti Dhishwa Shrigal Bhakshe. But anyone who is specifically favored by the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, due to unalloyed surrender unto the service of the Lord, can overcome the insurmountable ocean of illusion and can understand the Lord. But those who are attached to this body, which is meant to be eaten at the end by dogs and jackals, cannot do so. So I think we did cover this verse, but anyway, previous verse, Brahmaji is saying even the yogis and jnanis and karmis, they cannot understand the Supreme Lord. But the devotees, because they are surrendered and unalloyed surrender. Unalloyed means no mixture in that surrender. No mixture of any personal ambitions, no mixture of karma and jnana or yoga and like dhyan. So that kind of mixture or any mixture of personal desires, when that surrender is there, and they can overcome the insurmountable ocean of illusion, this Maya, ocean of Maya, and can understand the Lord. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, one who understands me, in truth, understands my birth and my activities, he never takes birth again. But those who are attached to this body, means those who are in the bodily concept of life, or those who are still in Maya, in illusion, in ignorance, they cannot understand Krishna. And this body, which is meant to be eaten at the end by dogs and jackals, cannot do so. The unalloyed devotees of the Lord know the glories of the Lord in the sense that they can understand how great the Lord is and how great is his expansion of diverse energy. Those who are attached to the perishable body can hardly enter into the realm of the signs of Godhead. The whole materialistic world, based on the conception of the material body as a self, is ignorant of the signs of God. The whole materialistic world, based on the conception of the material body as a self, those who are living in the body conscious life, is ignorant of the signs of God. They cannot know about God. The materialist is always busy working for the welfare of the material body, not only for his own, but also those of his children, kinsmen, community men, countrymen, etc. The materialists have many branches of philanthropic and altruistic activities from a political, national, and international angle of view. But none of the field work can go beyond the jurisdiction of the misconception of identifying the material body with the spirit soul. So unless therefore one is saved from the wrong conception of the body and the soul, there is no knowledge of Godhead. And unless there is knowledge of God, all advancement of material civilization, however dazzling, should be considered a failure. So what Prabhupada is writing is, materialists are always busy working for either for their body or for their mental satisfaction by working for the bodily products, children, kinsmen, community men, and then it goes further, countrymen. And then if they are not doing that, then they are busy working in many philanthropic and altruistic activities, for working for the society, helping the poor, helping the needy, helping the uh, hungry or impoverished. Of course, all these works, they cannot compare to the Bhakti Yoga. They cannot. But, and only by Bhakti Yoga one can know Krishna. By working in the field of society, social welfare, which is good. It's not a bad prospect or bad process. Because at least one gets out of serving his own body, at least he wants to take care of others, at least he develops his desire of service, selfless service. But this does not take one to, to the kingdom of God. Because that Krishna clearly says in Bhagavad Gita. Either we follow that instruction, man mana bhav mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru, or sarvadharman parityaja mam ekam sharanam raja. But these processes, these activities help one to start, to at least start serving the society, start going above the selfish aspect of life. And who knows, while doing that, one may do some agyat sukriti towards the Vaishnava, towards the Lord. And then slowly, slowly, he might get a chance to come in contact with devotees, pure devotees. Um, just like yesterday, we celebrated Ram Navami here at somebody's house, and there were like 50, 60 people. And there was one Prabhupada disciple, Mataji, and she was from New Vrindavan. And she was mentioning that when Prabhupada was here, although she comes from a very wealthy family, American body, but at New Vrindavan, they were living very poor conditions, impoverished state. They didn't have any money. Even Prabhupada didn't have any money. But she was saying, just looking at Prabhupada, they would forget all their problems, all the worldly concept of life. They would just completely forget. Just looking at Prabhupada, being with Prabhupada, they would be enthusiastically serving the whole day, not knowing where they will sleep at night. There were no facilities. That's a pure devotee who can inspire, who can motivate others like that. This is full surrender. So to come to that level, it's like Krishna also says, no, Sahasra Manushanam Sahasreshu Krishna. Out of thousands and thousands of men, hardly one may aspire for perfection, and hardly one may aspire to know about God, about yoga, and out of thousands and thousands of them, hardly one of them knows me in truth or get to be the perfection. So it's very difficult, very rare a soul comes to that level. So if he finds somehow by Krishna's mercy, if he finds association, if he gets the association of a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada, he or she can really make amazing progress. So that stage is necessary. That is when one understands God, by the mercy of God. So that stage is what we have to achieve. Otherwise, everything is a failure. Failure in the sense that even if somebody helps the society throughout his life, in the end it will be okay, he will be transferred to heavenly planets because he has selflessly sacrificed his life in service of humanity. So he will be transferred to heavenly planets. But heavenly planets means what? That means unlimited sense gratification. And after enjoying the senses there for so many years, one again comes back to earth and starts all over again. So in that way, it's a failure because it doesn't give any permanent results. But at least one gets a chance to start serving selflessly. So that is important. In that way, it is important. But if somebody gets a chance to come to bhakti process, so one should take it up seriously. Text 43 to 45. वेदाहमंग परमस्य हि योगमायां यूयं भवश्च भगवान् दैत्यवर्यः पत्नी मनोः स च मनुश्च तदात्मजाश्च प्राचीन बर्हिरितिभुङ् ऋतिभुङ् उत ध्रुवश्च इक्ष्वाकुर् इक्ष्वाकुरेल् मुचुकुन्द विदेह गाधिर् भ्रम्बरीश सग्रगैना उषाद्याः मान्त्रा मान्धातात्र लर्क शत धन्व अनुरन्ति देवा देवव्रतो बलिर्मूर्तयर्यो दिलीपः शोभरयुतं शिवि देवल पिप्पलादा सारस्वतोद्धव पराशरभूरिषेण ये अन्य विभीषण हनुमद उपेन्द्र दत्ता पार्थाष्टिर्वेषेण विदुरश्रुत देववर्या. So Brahma is saying, O Narad, although the potencies of the Lord are unknowable and immeasurable, still because we are all surrendered souls, we know how he acts through Yogmaya potencies. And similarly, the potencies of the Lord are also known to the all-powerful Shiva, the great king of atheist family, namely Prahlad Maharaj, Swambhuva Manu, his wife Shatarupa, his sons and daughters like Priyavrata, Uttanpada, Akuti, Devahuti, and Prasuti, Prachin Barhi, Vibhu, and Anga, the father of Vena, Maharaj Dhruva, Ikshvaku, Aila, Muchkunda, Maharaj Janak, Gadhi, Raghu, Ambarish, Sagar, Gaya, Nahush, Mandhata, Alarka, Shatadhanve, Anu, Rantideva, Bhishma, Bali, Amur, Amurtarya, Dilepa, Sobhri, Uttanka, Shivi, Deval, Pipalada, Saraswati, Uddhav, Parashar, Bhurishena, Vibhishan, Hanuman, Shukdev Goswami, Arjun, Arshpisena, Vidura, Shutadev, etc. So many surrendered souls, so many devotees, Brahmaji is listing here. All the great devotees of the Lord, as mentioned above, who flourished in the past or present, and all the devotees of the Lord will come in the future, are aware of the different potencies of the Lord, along with the potency of his name, quality, pastimes, entourage, personality, etc. And how do they know? Certainly it's not by mental speculation, nor by any attempt by dint of limited instruments of knowledge. By the limited instruments of knowledge, either the senses or the material instruments like microscopes and telescopes, one cannot even fully know the Lord's material potencies, which are manifested before our eyes. For example, there are many millions and billions of planets far, far beyond the scientist's calculation. But these are only the manifestations of the Lord's material energy. What can the scientist hope to know of the spiritual potency of the Lord by such material efforts? So Prabhupada is saying only the devotees know to a certain extent Krishna and his different potencies as his name, quality, pastimes, entourage, personality, etc. But the modern scientists, based on their faulty senses and the instruments that they have created by these senses, how can they know anything about God? Even the material energy of God, they cannot know for sure and for and the extent of it. Mental speculations, by adding some dozens of ifs and maybes, cannot aid the advancement of knowledge. On the contrary, such mental speculations will only end in despair by dismissing the case abruptly and declaring the non-existence of God. So this mental speculations of the scientists, they will only add in their theories or in their books ifs and maybe if this or maybe this happened, maybe it was like that. And Prabhupada saying they will abruptly end the case by declaring there is no God. Just because this is that, there cannot be God. That is their speculation. The sane person therefore ceases to speculate on subjects beyond the jurisdiction of his tiny brain. And as a matter of course, he tries to learn to surrender unto the Supreme Lord, who alone can lead one to the platform of real knowledge. In the Upanishads, it's clearly said that the Supreme Personality of Godhead can never be known simply by working very hard and taxing the good brain, nor can he be known simply by mental speculation and jugglery of words. The Lord is knowable only by one who is a surrendered soul. Herein Brahmaji, the greatest of material living beings, acknowledges this truth. Therefore, the fruitless spoiling of energy by pursuing the path of experimental knowledge must be given up. One should gain knowledge by surrendering unto the Lord and by acknowledging the authority of the persons mentioned herein. The Lord is unlimited, and by the grace of Yogamaya helps a surrendered soul to know Him proportionately with the advance of one's surrender. So here, this verse, previous verse, Brahmaji is talking about surrender. What is surrender to begin with? Surrender means, in layman terms, to follow the instructions of the Lord without adding our own interpretations, without adding our own loopholes, finding the loopholes. That is surrender. Just like Krishna says clearly in Bhagavad Gita, Man mana bhav mad bhakto madhyaji nam namaste. Of course, Guru is there, like Srila Prabhupada, through his purpose. He's again and again purpose, his lectures, his conversations, his morning walks, his interviews, so many things are there. Basically, this is to explain how to do these four things. Man mana bhav mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskar. And following Prabhupada's words, if we can do this, surrender means following the instructions, means not just hearing the instructions, but implementing them also in our lives. So, of course, we cannot implement, or everybody has a different level to start with in this life. So we implement according to our own level of consciousness, on sanskaras, on understanding. So we start implementing those instructions slowly. As much as faith we have, faith also grows with time, with association. And more we follow the instructions and more we experience the results, more surrender, more faith develops. So surrender is a process. It's not like one day we are not surrendered and next day we will be fully surrendered. It's not going to happen like that. It's a process. So it's a process, and in the association, by hearing more, by serving together, by chanting more, by doing our sadhana properly. Doing our sadhana is also a sign of surrender. Because when Krishna says, Mad mana bhav, mad bhakto, think of me, become my devotee, and Prabhupada or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, chant the holy names. That is the way to become his devotee. That is the way to think of him. And Prabhupada implemented that in our lives. So by trying to follow these instructions, simple instructions, we are trying to surrender. Our mind doesn't want to chant, doesn't want to listen to the class, doesn't want to study Prabhupada's books, doesn't want to serve, doesn't want to associate with devotees, our mind will find thousands and thousands of excuses not doing it. But surrender means using our intelligence in finding the ways how I can implement these instructions of Krishna, instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, instructions of Srila Prabhupada in my life, and understanding that by following these instructions, I will have a better, a peaceful, a spiritual, a blissful life, not only in this lifetime, but in the following, uh, whether we go back to spiritual world or whether we take a new birth, the life will be better. Of course, none of us has seen the next life. It's all based on faith, that what our next life will be. Of course, that is for sure, because that Krishna says the next life will be there. But what kind of life will be there? That is again based on scriptures. That if we do these spiritual activities, if we live nicely, first of all, materially also, next life will be better. But if one lives spiritually in this life, performing the yoga process, then his next life will definitely be much, much, much better. And one will have more chances of surrendering or making more advancement in bhakti next life and in this life also. So that is surrender. That is means slowly, slowly, slowly we are giving up our ideas of enjoyment, and we are taking up the instruction or following the instructions of Prabhupada. We are taking up the spiritual practices, so we get some spiritual enjoyment that the soul is really yearning for. So surrender means that we give up our ideas and we try to follow the instructions of Prabhupada. so so slowly, 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 slowly we surrender more, 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 and more. And more we surrender, just like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Ye yatha mam prapadyante, as one surrenders unto me, I reward him accordingly. So that reward will come from Krishna. The reward is we'll know him as in the same capacity as we have surrendered, or he can bestow more understanding. For him, it's not a problem. And more spiritual happiness, the realizations, knowledge, everything will be there. It depends on more and more surrender. Surrender is not just an external show of doing danvats. Of course, one who has the feeling for Krishna, he will do pranam with full love and devotion. But it is not just based on that. It's based on one's consciousness, one's um, the positioning of mind in the service of Krishna. That is surrender. So Brahmaji is talking about surrender. Prabhupada talks about surrender in this purport again and again. And we should try as much as we can, and more than that. And one thing is for sure, more one desires and tries to surrender, Krishna will also help. Because this is the path where it's a path of mercy, path of grace. Without Krishna's help, we cannot make progress, obviously. But our desire has to be there, our willingness to surrender has to be there. And then Krishna will definitely help. And the devotees are there to help. Prabhupada is there to help. Guru Parampara is there to help us to surrender more and to make more advancement. So anyway, I'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, in this purport of the last verse that we read, 43, 44, 45, why is it mentioned the great king of the atheist family?
Oh, that was Prahlad Maharaj.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
That comma is not correctly placed.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, and happy birthday.
Thank you, Vanta. Thanks a lot.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada. I guess we can stop here. You all have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.